the premier, we call picture look. Like we're going to take him, and haven't gotten those, so the ball has gone to other people.
And as far as him just getting open, getting space from linebackers and whoever is on him, has that been an issue? Or do you think he's doing generally a good job at that?
He's done what we've asked of him to this point. Obviously, we have a lot of good playmakers on this roster, and they've shown up in different times in different ways, and we need to continue to get the ball, distributed. But there's only one rock, and and we have a bunch of talented players, and they have unique skill sets. Sometimes, one guy's gonna have the hot hand; he's gonna get it more than the next week it'll be someone else.
What's it going to take to get more consistency on offense? And I think all 10 of Ryan's drives were 5 plays or fewer. Just getting those first downs to get you going.
Yeah, we made a big emphasis the last couple of weeks and of like making the first down and like the first play of the game, hit an explosive pass, 22-yard gain. So it's really like 2 first downs. But the story of the game really comes down to third down. We have to do a better job converting those third downs. That playing 47 plays in any game is not acceptable, and the only way you do that is you continue to go first down, second down, first down, or when you get in third down, you have to convert in those situations. And how do you do that? Well, you got to stay in third and 2 to 6, and you can't have penalties, you can't have negative plays that bump you out of that. The 3 of the first 5 games or 3 of the 5 first series of the games, we have 2 penalties and we drop a snap. And that's kind of the story of the game, and got away from us. And this last one, it's 17-0 at that point versus a good team on the road.
I know third and longs are tough, but
yeah,
teams do find a way to pick those up. If you guys kind of look at what's been going wrong in those third and
yeah, there's multiple. It's not one thing. And if you look across the league now, you start looking at third and 8 plus. Those percentages aren't high. And third and 12, a lot of people aren't converting that. You're probably hitting around 30%, I'm guessing, max. The good teams. But it's never just one thing. It's pass pro, and that can tie into the quarterback moving off the spot when he should sit there, or passing it, picking up a game, or chipping when we're supposed to chip, or receivers hitting their depth where they're supposed to be, or getting off press coverage. There's a multiple things that go into that.
I know when you have 45 plays on offense, that limits everyone across
Yes.
the board. Within that, how do you want Drake, Gore, Sherry? What's supposed to be regardless of how many snaps on offense?
Well, I think it depends individually on each game and who's got the hot hand. I've been part of this before with good players, with Chris Johnson, Lindell White. Chris Johnson rushed for 2,000 yards, and Lindell White led the league in touchdowns. It's those things happen in games. Obviously, we don't go into with a number like, hey, we want to get this guy this many catches, and sometimes or this many touches, and sometimes it changes. Frank Gore's a really good player, and so is Kenyon. Kenyon's a really good player in the run game and the pass game, and he needs to be a big part, and he will be a big focal part of the offense going forward. And each week it will be different.
What have you learned about Travis Swanson since he's been here?
It's early. He did it when he came in. He did a good job for us. So it's still early enough. We're confident in him that he can do what's asked of him, and he's got NFL starts and got NFL experience, which helped a ton.
How would you evaluate how you guys are doing against press coverage?
I don't think we did as well as what we should have last week. I think it's something that we need to continue to work on. We have guys that can do it, and it just comes down to executing technique and the proper fundamentals, and it's an area we need to improve this week.
you think Adam said just got out physical at the line of scrimmage. Do you think that alone will make a difference, or do you think there's some technique and assignment stuff that you guys are doing too?
Yeah, I think the big part of that is the message to the guys we need to execute better. And it's playing together. Obviously, the nicks on the offensive line affect that when you got to come in and you got 2 new starters. And a guy that's come that we were able to pick up, that got cut from the Jets and comes to our squad, and he's been here for a very short time. Working together. And in pass pro, it's a unit. It's the quarterback, the offensive line, tight ends, running backs being on the same page. So as they play together, like it'll continue to improve.
Do you guys have first down plays and third down plays, or
Yes, sir.
So do you evaluate your first down plays to say, okay, these 4 weeks, these first down plays haven't worked. Maybe we should throw into third down plays and first down plays and vice versa?
We self-scout every week, and the way we talk about it in terms of efficiency, like what have we done that's been efficient in the run game and the pass game and pass protection, conceptually, what have we been good at? We do have a unique set of skill guys, and everyone has a little bit different skill. And trying to put those guys in those situations to succeed. There's certain things the quarterbacks or each back does well, and so we self-scout hard. We do have separate third down plays if the defense dictates that. If they play different coverage, sometimes they play more man, so there's gonna be more man beaters that can, just because we have it in the third down section, it can be called on first, second down as well. And that stuff did happen when you get in the game gets lopsided. Like last week, we started calling some third down stuff on first and second down.
On Monday, Adam said that a couple of receivers were open a lot. He mentioned Jakeem Grant as one of those guys. So if they're not the first read, but they're open a lot, what's supposed to happen?
Jakeem did a really good job. Obviously, his stats didn't say that, but did a really good job in press. Was getting off, getting clean. And it's the same thing. It's the offensive line protecting. It's the quarterback throwing the ball on time or not moving into pressure and doing those things. So there's so many different things that it's hard for me to answer that question. Sometimes they're number one in the progression, sometimes they're not. Sometimes we call a play for cover one for Jakeem and it's cover two, so the ball goes to someone else. So there's a lot of different things that go into that.
When their holes aren't open in the run game, how do you manufacture a running game more touches for you?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because sometimes the game's played early in games is hard. It can be tougher to get started, but that's why when you convert on third down and you're able to stay on the field and give those guys more attempts at running it, then you start to start get going and go in the right direction with the run game. And converting third downs helps you call more runs. And I know that the narrative right now is being better on third down, which is going to help a lot of different things. But it's sticking with the run. But the only way you can stick with the run is if you convert first down or convert third down, so you have more shots on first, second down to run the football.
That's good. All right, thank you.
Have a good one.
You need shuttles back or?